my God, it's this Azensali. I be putting all the nuns to shame her. Don't say my name in vain, sir. I told you once I'll have you living on a prayer like Bon Jovi was. Oh my God, it's this Azensali. I be putting all these nuns to shame her. Don't say my name in vain, sir. I told you once I'll have you living on a prayer like Bon Jovi.
What is your Azensali album?
It was the amalgamation of ideas that I accumulated from March 2020 to December 2020.
Can someone fact check Magalagulation, whatever he just said? All right, I got a list here of the album itself. The first song, I don't know if these are in order, but the first song I see is Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes, Pandemic Year. What's behind that? No pun intended. What's behind the eyes? What's the song about? How'd you make it? What does it mean?
Well, essentially that song is the first. It acts as an introduction. So it's like a overall theme.
Fair enough.
Of the album.
Mm-hmm.
And the overall theme is like open your eyes, kind of. Like really see things and understand them. Don't just look at them for the surface level, you know?
Pay attention.
I think one of the lyrics is, most just see with their whites, no pupils letting in no light. Because you know how when you see things with your pupils.
Sure.
The black part, it absorbs all the light into your eyeballs. But it didn't seem like that's how people were really looking at things. It seemed like they were looking with the wrong parts of their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that song served as. And the way I made it, found a really good artist from like the 1980s.
Hold on, I'm going to try to play a clip.
They whole life been a lie. I'm not joking. You can see with your eyes, but most of
They're from a legendary composer.
Okay.
And turned the pitch down, you know, made it sound like my style that I could do something on.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't put any drums. I just did the sample and then my voice. So it acted as like an introduction, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the first one.
All right, and then the next one is Hood of Sin.
Hood of Sin is kind of like, I named it Hood of Sin because that song really talks about all the things specifically that were going on in 2020 that were coming to light. It touches about the giants that the Smithsonian hid, the vaccines and how they are not at what they seem to be,
right.
Medicines and how they keep you sick, you know, the people who are really rich and doing a pedophile stuff like Jeffrey Epstein. I talked about Bill Gates. I mentioned how Kanye West said that the abortions target specific people.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, he just dropped another gem. Hold on. Okay, we're back. We're back. Let's go to a clip of, and again, you can find this on SoundCloud, but let's do a clip, and I want to... Oh. Mm-hmm. Similar, like a... Yeah, I definitely like this album.
Yeah, that was the way I made that song. I got it from I sampled it from the same person.
All right, we're gonna call that sample Bill Gates.
Yeah, so I sampled that one from Bill Gates.
Yep.
And
thanks.
That one was actually harder than a sample that I've ever done before.
This is when you started sampling?
Yeah.
2020.
And because I had to chop it up. So I had to chop it up and put different pieces of the song together.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when people sample, they just take one part and they just loop it. And that's fine. You can still get a good sound. But it's way more, it's harder to chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it with a few more songs in that album too. A lot of songs were samples on that song. On that album.
All right, so that was I remember that one. And we're just going to show them clips. So if anything, you know, makes them be like, oh, wait, let me check that out. They can go check it out. All right, now this is the Latin word. I messed it up last time. It's a viribus. It's a new transportation system. And Viribus. And you said it's Latin.
Yeah.
What brought you back to Latin besides like the weird, you know, old school Fifth Element ass feel to it?
Well, Latin is a language that the American government uses and the Pope uses, and those are two corrupt entities.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to kind of mirrored their language.
Right.
And
oh, Jesus! What all these gems here? I don't know what's going on, but go ahead. So Latin is just for.
Yeah, I wanted to mirror their language because if they're gonna spread lies, then I'll spread the truth in their own language. And on top of that, alchemy also has Latin. Well, it didn't start in Latin. It started in, farther back. Yeah. But it became popularized among the Latin people. So the book that I read, where I got the name Azensali from, a bunch of those terms were in Latin. So I decided to make kind of the theme of the album also Latin, because another thing that I learned in 2020, which is like the fourth element to this idea of why Latin is in here, is the idea that Rome is not dead, that Rome never fell.
Yeah.
We're living
I'm
Rome.
totally convinced.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was, but I remember us talking about it, and it was like, oh, Rome fell. And it's like, wait, did it? And I think I just seen something on the infamous TikTok. It might have been TikTok, I don't know. But it said Rome never fell, and it showed like different symbols, and so...
Yeah, so that's why there's a lot of Latin in that. And I use Roman numerals.
And how do I say it? We're going to play the clip. How's it say?
Veribus.
Veribus. Check it out. Here we go.
Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical.
That's
our
a good sound.
hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery.
Oh, the GI. Yeah!
More than cleverness.
Hold on, we got time because I want it to drop. Yeah!
I'm getting my strength up, attacking foes with 8 doves, cause they come bankrupt with gay stuff and frame guts for sling stuff with hate.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness! Oh, that was, yeah. All right, that one brought back memories for me when I heard it. Yeah. So I'm sure once they get it.
The craziest thing, that was not supposed to be the beat for it, but I heard that clip is just like looped the whole time. It's like a half a second clip. It's like so small.
No way.
I found it from watching a video on Instagram. I saw it in a somebody posted it, and it was like, I didn't even know where the sound was from, so I had to screen record and download it and change it to audio, and then so yeah, it just sounded too cool to not use.
It works. Some of the things you make up. What do you call the one on your recent album? I think it's called Some or something. When you showed me how you made that beat, that was just mind blowing. Cause I'm like, yo, you didn't even sample anything. You're just sitting there, like at a classroom desk, like we used to do with the 2 pens and the. So once we get to that one, I think you guys will enjoy it. But now originally I thought it was I intent because you like to mess around with the words, but you said it's first intent. There's actually a feature of Caesar.
Yeah.
So Caesar's on the track. Like
Caesar is on the track. Okay. Actually, funny enough, that's he goes by Kane 104 now.
Right. But that's before the name switch.
Yeah. That was Caesar.
Okay. And what's first intent? What is
first intent? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too familiar with it. We might have to listen to it to jog my memory. But
can you tell them why you're?
Because when I make a song, it's like I have something in my head, but when I make it, I put it out of my head, and I leave it somewhere else. So there's no reason for me to remember it because I can always. It's like a book, you know what I mean? You go and you look at it when you need it.
So I think it's the true art form because I had so many ideas when I was making videos, but once I put them out to the video. Like, I think everyone has their own form, right? Some people paint, some people take pictures, make music, whatever it is. But once you get it out of your brain housing group.
Alchemy calls it transmutation. They say taking what's in your mind and making it into matter. And that's basically art, I guess. Transmutation.
Yeah, right. I think if more people did that, it would be, obviously we need more time, but
yeah.
If you find a way, I think it's stress relieving and it produces stuff. All right, so here's first intent. We'll do the clip and maybe if it jogs any memories. Oh, come on.
Tyranny was eerily being accepted by the people who dependent on stores and price gains. It's easy to force compliance. If you need me for essentials, I am gonna hold until you give up. This has been done in the past 6 months. It's all a plot with propaganda.
Ooh, hold on. They might cancel this chat. Hold on. We have a new gem here. We have a new. We just cut it off the.
Okay, now that jogs my memory.
Yeah.
So the beat is from.
That's good.
An Italian singer. I think her name is Sophia Loren.
Yeah.
She sang a song called Teen Afto. I'll drop that one because it's not my favorite sample, so
That's a good sample though.
But the thing is, I made that sample. That was probably that was like the fourth sample I ever made.
Uh-huh.
I did not know what I was doing, but it came out like that, and so I just kept it because I chopped it up randomly and it came out like that.
So I think that shows that even when you don't know what you're doing, it's still working. Mm-hmm. Like it's still by accident.
But yeah, that's why I got the beat for my sample. That I did the drums myself.
Yeah.
And then if you heard the content of the song, tyranny is eerily being accepted.
Yeah, no, that was when you showed me that one. I was like,
yeah,
proud dad moment because I'm like.
But it was so true because it's like by the people who are dependent on stores and price gains, it's easy to force compliance. Because if you need me for essentials, then I am gonna hold it until you give up what I want for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what you were saying? Because I heard, So.
Because in 2020 you couldn't get things unless you did what they told you to do. Unless you wore what they told you to do, and that it was like too much. You know what I mean?
And everyone, oh man, even like everybody became a Power Ranger, an Agent Smith. Everyone was like, where? And I'm like,
yeah, it's like the Matrix.
Yeah, it was bad.
So yeah, that's what that got one. That one is a pretty good one.
I want to hear Caesar's. But we'll listen to that after we finish this episode.
Okay.
And so second intent, do you drop more gems in
that
second
intent is my top 3 songs on that album. It's a good one.
Yeah.
That one I drop a lot on that one. And I even in elements of sampling and making the beat myself.
Yeah.
That was probably still one of my best songs, and I made it in 2020.
Right, do you have like tape or something? We should tape these gems down. I don't want any more to fucking drop.
You gotta put in that or a bucket.
We need a sound, not a SoundCloud, like a soundboard.
The explosion.
Yeah. Somebody call Funk Flex and get them like we need gem drops. Gem drops.
Like all right. That.
He does it too much sometimes. No offense, Flex, but sometimes I just want to listen to the music. So do we have time to hit a clip real quick and then? All right. So this is second attempt on Azensali. He's already clean.
As above, so below, here we go. My veins follow, same way the river flows. As above, so below, here we go. My veins follow, same way the river flows. They label you names, they stay playing those games, but this is Plato's cave and we escaped it today. I dwell in the fourth place, all off face. No fall for this cabal game. Our purpose more than school job dead, but most dislike is cool, I guess. That's the fools I mess. We need a new mindset that's ready to move and do our best. For humanity, soon why yes. I tell them 99%.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one I have a lot to say.
That's a good one. That's a good one to end on because I feel like the remainder of the album is gonna be. It's just they just keep getting better.
Mm-hmm. That one's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh.
But are these now in this order so far? Is this like the order of the pandemic? Is this like the pandemic anthem right now of like how it's transforming, or are these songs discombobulated?
Not discombobulated. They're all like what I felt needed to be said on that beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's not.
So
it's not
at
like
that
order.
time, it's not. You didn't.
I didn't dissect it in order. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was probably one of my favorites because I got it from. If you ever watched the movie V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Julie London, I believe her name is. Cry Me a River.
Yeah.
That song played in V for Vendetta. And the 2020 felt like V for Vendetta.
It was spot on.
Yeah.
It was spot on. I forgot who told me. But somebody said, watch V for Vendetta. And I was like, I remember the movie, but no, it was spot on to that to that time frame.
So yeah, I sampled that from Cry Me a River, and it mirrored V for Vendetta, which mirrored our present day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a little of the bass in the background. I did the drums. So I was proud of that beat. It's a good sample. And then the content of it talks about school in the beginning. Because while I was in school, I saw a lot of things I was not You know, I saw a lot of people being content, and I don't think you should be content or settle.
Oh yeah,
that's what that song is about.
Yeah, I think content and comfortable and settling, like you never want a house to settle, right? Or any maybe if you do like a driveway, if things settle, they're actually degrading, they're falling. So like you always have to be maintaining.
Yeah, because what does that say? If you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people, like, people would just settle, and they thought that that it's okay to settle. It's not.
I think there's a point where, and I know I've done it. I think you've mentioned a couple goals. If people think that there's a goal to be had. I think Bruce Lee says it's not. You don't pray for an easy life. You pray to be strong to deal with a hard life or something. Something along those lines where it never stops. You don't get to a plateau and you're like, all right, this is it. Because once you hit that, it just goes down. And it's hard to recognize because it's like a roller coaster. You're like enjoying the ride. And then all of a sudden you're fat as fuck. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And shout out to, who's going to carry the boat? I asked my buddy, I said, why is that guy, what is he really doing? And just now, because I read his book, like David Goggins, I read his book, I don't know, years ago, whatever came out. He's got the whole fucking country trying to carry boats. Yeah. Like people in the middle of the country. There's no water around. And these motherfuckers are carrying, they're in the fucking desert carrying boats. So, good shit. And just your songs resemble like it's like motivation. There's gem drops. There's
a lot of gem drops.
Yeah, I just like it.
But the last thing I have to say on that song is, if you heard the first lyrics, as above so below.
Yeah.
My veins follow the same way the river flows. That's alchemy too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of alchemy talks about as above so below. It's a hermetic principle basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's said in the Kybalion, as above so below, and it's true because when you look at all these things, they mirror each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a old science because a lot of things these days you have to cut open, you have to dissect, you have to look really, use a lot of your physical senses.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have microscopes that can see germs or whatever the smallest thing in the universe is.
Yeah.
But this principle, you don't need that. You don't need to use your eyes.
It's just logic. It's just like
if this is like this and this looks like this, then it must be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It must operate the same. But a lot of people don't like to. And I think that we should go back. So that's why I was saying it. Also because it's alchemy, but
mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's episode 3. We're halfway through the Azensali album. We'll come back to episode 4. We're going to start with Middle is the next song. And